Hello, my name is Kelsey Belt, Application Specialist with NextGen. The purpose of today's recording is to provide you the workflow for the progress note in the Behavioral Health Suite. I'm going to go ahead and launch into NextGen Mobile. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate the progress note here on Mr. David Kirshner. So as we talked about in our previous demonstration, these are what we call our tap templates. So this includes a combination of free text fields, radio buttons, checkboxes, really allowing the provider to capture a lot of what's in the template and send that directly from mobile over to the NextGen EHR, directly in the patient's chart. So once this delivers, it automatically populates that progress note template into the patient's encounter with all of this information pushed from the progress note. So I'm going to go ahead and complete the entirety of this configured job that we have in our demo environment, and then I'm going to take you over to the EHR to show you where all of this information lands. So I could either type or I could use dictation, of course, to enter in this information that I'm entering in here. For myself, it's easier for me to go ahead and just use my phone's keyboard to type that in. Client reported a slight improvement in his anxiety since intake period. Anxiety. Client reported feeling, quote, nervous, end quote, but was able to regulate this during session period. Client openly discussed his thoughts/feelings during session period. Client reported that he has decreased his alcohol use since intake period. I met with client for initial individual counseling session period. Client and I discussed confidentiality and exceptions, the risks/benefits of therapy, and the nature of the therapeutic process period. Client and I discussed client's anxiety levels since intake was completed period. Client reported that he feels, quote, a little better, end quote, period. Client and I discussed client's triggers for anxiety period. Client and I discussed how client has been successful in managing his anxiety in the past period. Client reported that he used to do, quote, something with squeezing my muscles and meditation, but I can't remember, end quote, period. Client and I completed progressive muscle relaxation exercises period. Client reported feeling, quote, much more calm, end quote, period. Client and I discussed how client can implement this into his daily routine period. Now, as you can see, I have dictated and done a little bit of the bubbles and checkboxes. I didn't dictate into the motor activity, behavior, or medical condition, but I could have dictated some narrative in there as well. I just wanted you to get an idea of the narrative pieces that you could dictate into the specific top template. Now, I'm going to go ahead and send this specific job type directly over to the patient's chart, and then I'm going to go ahead and launch into the patient's record here. So now I'm here inside the EHR, inside David Kirshner's chart, and over here in the patient history bar, you see the encounter from 119 with the progress note that has automatically populated based on the delivery of that tap template that was just done through the mobile application. So based on the delivery, it automatically triggers this template to auto-populate in the patient's encounter. Now keep in mind, a task can be then sent based on the delivery of this, letting the provider know or case manager know that that has delivered as a gentle reminder that they still need to go in and essentially complete documentation on this specific progress note for this specific patient. So here at the top we have our individuals present, so you see all of the information that's pulling directly from the mobile application. So this is including all of your pick list fields, your free text narrative fields, your bubbles, and your check boxes. So all of this is pulling directly from the mobile application. Our homework from last session, that is pulling from the mobile application as well. And then we come to the current assessment. So again, we have the combination of the radio buttons as well as free text narrative fields. So all of this information is pulling directly from mobile. So these free text boxes were dictated from the mobile application. As I mentioned, while dictating in the mobile app, I didn't dictate in the motor activity and speech or behavior and functioning and medical condition, but I certainly could have, and that narrative would land here as similar to what you're seeing here in these other free text narrative fields. So all of this again is pulling from mobile. And then scrolling down to our plan and information. So again, this is that free text narrative field, which was again dictated from the mobile application, as well as this radio button of this homework given. So the job that's configured in the mobile app that I dictated from mobile did populate that template and pulled over all of those specific fields that we just went through. And that's for the progress note in our behavioral health suite.